Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Today we're taking a look at a gun out of my personal collection. This is my Beretta S686 Essential. And a little story about how it came to be that I got this shotgun. I've had it since last fall, but I'd been to a sporting clays competition with some friends, and Jason and I rode home together, and he was in the market for a shotgun. I wasn't even in the market for one. It's funny how that works out, isn't it? But we went to the gun shop, and he found this on the used rack, and he had me come over and look at it, and we looked it over, and this gun just called to me. I've never had a gun call to me the way this one did. Some of you guys may know what I'm talking about, some of you guys may not, but I had always wanted a nice over and under shotgun, 12 gauge, but I didn't want to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for a shotgun and then be so scared to get it out and use it that I would scratch it and it would just become a safe queen. So I didn't want to do that. And I didn't want to get one of the super low end ones that I could afford, because I've handled those and they handle about like a 2x4, and they're you know, they just don't look all that great. The finish isn't very good on a lot of them. Some of them are probably pretty good shotguns. I'm just speaking with in general terms with a broad stroke here. But when I saw this shotgun, it was everything that I wanted in a shotgun. It's a nice, well-made shotgun. All the mechanics are the same as any other Beretta 686, but it's just kind of a toned down finish, kind of a sleeper look to it. Kind of blacked out, just walnut stocks. It does have the 28-inch barrels. Now it did come with 2 flush fitting choke tubes. I swapped those out for a couple of Carlson choke tubes. I've got a skeet in the bottom barrel and an improved cylinder in the top. It actually came with a modified in the bottom barrel and a full in the top. And it is the mobile choke style, the Beretta mobile choke style. The 28-inch barrels are chrome lined, and they're separated barrels. They don't have the side ribs on the barrel, so you can kind of see through them there. I really like that look. And it keeps the weight down too. It keeps the shotgun quick and nimble. Just those ribs are just unnecessary weight, in my opinion. Now it is chambered for 3-inch. I doubt that I'll shoot many 3-inch through it. I'll probably shoot mostly light hunting loads and target loads through it. That's what I've been shooting through it so far, except for that video where I was shooting the 9mm through it with the adapter. I'm sure some of you guys saw that video. But mostly it'll just be light target loads. The gun weighs about 6.7 pounds. And this gun is set up more as a hunting shotgun than it is for like a sporting clays shotgun. I am going to shoot sporting clays with this gun, but it's set up and geared more toward a field gun, a hunter's gun. It has the auto ejectors, meaning that after you take your 2 shots and crack it open, it's going to spit your empty hulls out on the ground. Now, that's handy in a hunting situation if you want to reload quickly and get back in the game. You know, you're in, the doves are flying or whatever, and you need to reload quickly. But in the sporting clays world, or whatever other kind of clay games, you might not want to pick your shells up, your empty shot shells up, hulls. So you can just, of course, hold your hand over the chambers here and catch those hulls and put them in your pocket or throw them in the trash can, whatever it is you're going to do with them. So I prefer the ejectors in that you can use them as ejectors or as extractors. Some people prefer the extractors, but for me, that was just a perfect setup. I'll demonstrate these ejectors. And also, if you load 2 rounds up but only shoot 1, it'll only eject the spent case. It doesn't eject the unfired case. Now, just because your shotgun ejects your spent holes Doesn't give you a right just to leave them laying on the ground. Always pick up after yourself. There's been a lot of good hunting spots lost over the years because of stuff like that. Now this is a single trigger over and under. Just has the one trigger. It does have a barrel selector on the safety switch. The position it's in right now shoots the bottom barrel first. Just push it over like that and you switched it to the top barrel first. Now most of the time I'm going to shoot bottom barrel first because that lower bore axis drives the recoil more into my shoulder than up. So I can have that second shot a lot quicker from my top barrel than if I'd have shot them in the reverse order. So that's how I mostly keep it set. Now there are times when I may want to use that top barrel first. Let's say I've got a cylinder bore choke in the bottom barrel and a full choke in the top barrel, and a target presents itself at 40 yards out. I'm going to hit that barrel selector and take advantage of that tighter choke. So it's nice to be able to switch back and forth just like that on which barrel you want to shoot. Now, it doesn't matter which order you shoot them in. The trigger is going to work in the same way. You pull the trigger, it resets from the recoil, the inertia inside the receiver. It has an inertia block that resets the trigger. So the trigger is going to reset for the second barrel regardless of which order you shoot them in. All right, so first I'll shoot bottom barrel first. And then I'll switch it over and shoot top barrel first. It has an automatic safety, and what I mean by that is the safety automatically engages whenever I open the gun up. So when I reload and close the gun back, it's going to be on safe again. Other than that, it works just like any other safety. It's in safe now. That's fire. It's got really nice positive engagement. Safe, fire, safe, fire. Now, you notice when I open the gun up, if you can see it on the camera, the safety drops right back down to the safe position. Also, when you close this gun up, I mean, it feels like you just shut the door at Fort Knox. It's a solid lockup. All right, we'll take a look at this receiver. These guns are just incredibly easy to take down. Just like that. That's all there is to it. These receivers are incredibly robust. They're low profile, low slung receivers. And the reason being that Beretta can do that is the way their barrels engage the receiver. There's no need for an underlug under the barrels, which leads to a nice low profile, compact receiver. It does have the dual locking lugs in here. You can see the two rods here. Those are self-adjusting for wear, and of course user replaceable. That's the great thing about these Berettas. A lot of these over and under shotguns you have to take them to a gunsmith or really pretty much be a gunsmith to work on them. But these Berettas, the hinge pins are user replaceable. The locking lugs, all the trigger components, pretty much everything about this gun, if you're slightly mechanically inclined, you can do it yourself. It's just a huge draw for me. The stocks are walnut. Got some decent checkering on them. Finish is nice, they look good. This one's got a few little scratches on it. There's a little scratch right there that was on there when I got it. But I'm glad somebody already did that for me, so I don't got to worry about it. Now these are very nice stocks. They're not the super highly figured grain like you might see on the more expensive 686s, but to me they look pretty dang good. Now this one is set up for a right-handed shooter, meaning that the stock is not exactly straight. It's got a little cast off to it. It's pushed that way, away from my face just a little bit. As a right-handed shooter, pushing the stock that way a little bit really helps you get on target. If you saw my videos in the past about shotguns and wing shooting and shim kits and things I've done like that in the past, you know that, in my opinion, for a wing shooting shotgun, I'm not talking about a tactical shotgun where you may shoot left or right-handed and all that stuff, but for a wing shooting shotgun, good fit is the most important thing. That's going to put you on more birds than anything else you can do. You can practice all day long with an ill-fitting shotgun and get pretty good at it. But if you've got a natural pointing shotgun that fits you good, it's going to be so much easier for you. And this one seems to fit me pretty well. So that's pretty much all I got to say about it. We'll do a little more shooting with it and finish this video up. All right, so we'll shoot a few hand-thrown clays with this shotgun. I'll pick those holes up here in a minute. All right, I'll shoot 2 more rounds. And I think you guys get the idea. Really nice shooting shotgun. All right, it's time to wrap this video up. Did have a couple more things I wanted to talk about first. This gun weighs about 6.5 pounds on my scale. Don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video. And I also measure a 14.5 inch length of pull on this shotgun. So don't know if that's helpful to anybody, but I don't think I had mentioned that earlier in the video. Something else I also wanted to go back and hit on. When I opened this video up, I was talking about how Jason found this shotgun on the used rack. And I'm a horrible storyteller. I start talking about one thing and forget to go back to the other. But I didn't buy this gun out from under Jason. I know if you just listen to the first part of that video, it might sound like that. He actually ended up going with a Franke, and I bought this gun with his blessing. So never buy a gun that you know one of your buddies is in love with. Don't do that. I didn't do that in this case, and I don't want you thinking I did. So I did want to make that clear. I looked up some gun values. I tried to find one of these just like this one for sale, maybe on Gunbroker or something, to see what they're going for on average. And I can't really find any. They're not real easy to find, this Essential model. Of course, the 680 series has been around forever. This Essential model was introduced in 1994. This particular shotgun was manufactured in 1995. I don't know when they stopped offering this stripped down version of the 686, but I do know they started offering it in 1994. I was able to search the web and find some ads where they first introduced this line on the 686. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I also looked up in the standard book catalog of gun values. I didn't find this exact model, this being the Ducks Unlimited edition, but I found the Beretta Essential, and they list it anywhere from $200 to $900 on the value, and I agree with that. That's a pretty good assessment. I paid on the upper end of that for this one, and I say if you find one in very good condition like this one, $750. If you find one around $750, jump all over it. They're great shotguns for that price range. They're basically the same thing as a Silver Pigeon without all the decoration. You still get the same mechanical shotgun as like a Silver Pigeon, and you're not going to find a Silver Pigeon for $750 unless something's terribly wrong with it. But that's about all I got to say about this shotgun today. I appreciate you guys hanging with me on a longer video like this. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, I hope you will consider subscribing. And as always, I have to thank my Patreon members. You guys are just, you know, you're the heart and soul of this channel. I can't say that enough. I try to mention that in every video, but since YouTube took away the ad revenue, or at least 80% of it or more, my Patreon members have stepped up, and you're basically the reason I'm able to keep doing this. So thank you very much, and I'll talk with you guys again soon.